Another super basic tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be playing around with face warping just to make silly images. We're going to be using a tool that was designed for something else, but it has curious effects when applied to a face. But I'm going to show you first what it's designed for. It's called content aware scaling. So let's say you have an image like this with a little boat and water, and you wanted to make more water to make the boat seem smaller. You could use this tool called Edit Content Aware Scaling in order to scale up the whole image. And what Photoshop will do is try to keep the boat the same size while it scales up all the water. This can also be used to make someone look like they're jumping higher in the air or other things as well. But it has some weird effects that it does to faces. So we're going to be using it along with the Liquify tool. So I found a Justin Bieber image over here. I'm going to copy this image, bring it over into Photoshop, File, New, Clipboard, OK, Paste, and let's go ahead and go Edit Content Aware Scale, and I'm going to shrink it, crush it this way and bring it in a little bit, and you're going to see right away it's done some kind of goofy things to Bieber's face here. So I like that right there, so I'm going to hit return. And then I'm just going to transform in Command T and scale this back up to fill my canvas. And I'm going to also need to crop this image to get rid of that extra white that we got rid of. Alright, so that's the first step in this transformation. Now I'm going to go up to Filter and choose Liquify. There's a bunch of fun tools in here for face distortion. We're going to start off with the bulge tool, which looks like a circle. It's the bloat tool. And I want to have a radius of my brush size that is, about 4 or 5 times bigger than the eye itself. And what this will allow me to do is click and hold the button down, and it will bloat that image as long as you hold it. Now, if you go too far, this will really fall apart and look terrible. So I'm actually going to start over and do a little bit less than that. That looks good to me. That looks good to me. So now let's play with some of the other tools. This forward warp tool basically allows you to puppet the edges of the image. So I want to give this new Bieber creature kind of a skinnier neck. So I'm going to bring in the neck and round out the shoulders a little bit. And also, I want to sort of like lengthen his chin a little. So just making small movements, I'll click and drag. There we go. So now, another tool I'll play with is the pucker tool, which basically sucks things inward and makes them smaller. So we can make his mouth even smaller here. So that's some really basic distortion tools that you can use for, just playing around. They used to have a twirl tool in here, which I think they got rid of, but there's enough to do just with this tool to make some pretty goofy looking images. And when you're done, just say OK. And again, just for before and after, here's what our photo looked like before, and here's sort of our caricature photo warp in the end. And if you want to take this one step layer further, we can create a new layer, and let's just colorize his eyes. So I'm going to grab a brush tool with green, paint 2 dots over his eyes, and then I'll set that layer to multiply. And multiply or sometimes overlay or screen looks better. In fact, in this case, I like overlay better. And we can just grab E for eraser and just clean up anything that overlapped. And there you go. There's a super, super, super basic face warping tutorial.